It was a cold Thursday morning in the small town of Millstone, Virginia, a place so quiet that people still left their doors unlocked and gossip traveled faster than mail. Everyone knew Eddie Walker, the friendly delivery driver who worked for Millstone Express. He'd been on the job for almost 8 years. No complaints, no missed shifts, no drama. Until one day, Eddie simply vanished. His delivery van was found parked beside Miller's Creek, engine still running, the radio humming softly with a gospel tune. The driver's seat was empty, and his phone sat on the dashboard, still recording a voice message that ended mid-sentence. "Hey, Mr. Harris, just dropping off your static." That's all the police had. At first, everyone thought maybe Eddie had just snapped, left town, started over. After all, people did that sometimes. But those who knew him best didn't buy it. Eddie was the kind of man who checked on his elderly neighbors, fed stray dogs, and dropped groceries off for free when someone couldn't pay. He wasn't the walk-away-from-life type. His supervisor, Laura Jenkins, filed a missing persons report that same evening. By the next morning, the entire town was out searching. Volunteers combed the woods near Miller's Creek, drones flew overhead, and divers scoured the riverbed. Nothing. No footprints. No struggle. No sign of a fall. It was as if the man had evaporated into thin air. Days turned into weeks. The police called off the search after finding no foul play. But that didn't stop rumors. Some said Eddie was running from debt. Others whispered he was involved in something darker, maybe even drugs. But one rumor spread louder than the rest. Eddie found out something he wasn't supposed to. It started with a teenager named Jamie who worked part-time at the same delivery depot. He told detectives that Eddie had been acting off the week before he vanished. Jamie recalled Eddie pulling him aside one night after their shift. "You ever wonder why we deliver to that old warehouse on Birch Road every night after hours?" Jamie shrugged it off, but Eddie's face was serious. "Because I think what's inside those boxes ain't what they say it is." That warehouse had always been part of the route, listed as Millstone Supplies, LLC. No one thought much of it. But after Eddie's disappearance, Laura did some digging. The business license was expired. The company had no phone number, no website, and when she checked county records, the building wasn't even listed under its supposed owner. When Laura brought this to the sheriff, he brushed her off. "Probably a paperwork error," he said. But Laura wasn't convinced. She started asking questions, and that's when things got strange. Her mailbox was broken into twice. She got 2 anonymous calls at night. No one spoke, just breathing. Then one morning, she found a note under her windshield. "Stop looking for Eddie." Laura wasn't easily scared. She contacted a retired journalist named Ben Rowe, who had once covered a corruption case in the next county. Together, they decided to investigate the Birch Road warehouse themselves. Late one night, they drove out there, headlights off, hearts pounding. The warehouse was dimly lit, with a few workers unloading unmarked boxes from a truck. Ben zoomed his camera lens in and whispered, "That's not office supply packaging, that's medical waste labeling." They watched as men loaded sealed red containers into the back of a van marked Millstone Express, the same company Eddie had worked for. Suddenly, one worker noticed their car lights flicker. Ben and Laura ducked, too late. A flashlight beam hit their windshield. Someone shouted, "Hey!" They sped off, gravel spraying behind them. By the next morning, Ben's footage was gone. Someone had broken into his home and taken only his laptop. He went to the police. They refused to take a report. Laura was fired from her job 2 days later. That's when she realized this wasn't just about Eddie. The whole delivery company, maybe even the sheriff's office, was part of something far bigger. Ben went public, posting a summary of what he'd uncovered. It went viral overnight. Local officials scrambled to deny it, but the state eventually stepped in. Within weeks, a grand jury investigation began. It turned out that the warehouse was being used to illegally dump biohazard waste from nearby hospitals, and several local officials were receiving hush money to look the other way. And Eddie Walker? He discovered it first. 2 months later, hikers found human remains buried in a shallow grave behind the warehouse. DNA confirmed it, Eddie Walker. Next to the remains was a crushed phone, and the final unsent message on his SIM card read, "If something happens to me, tell Laura the boxes are not what they seem." The arrests came fast. 3 county employees, 2 business owners, and, to everyone's horror, Sheriff Harold Doyle himself. During interrogation, Doyle admitted that Eddie had confronted him about the illegal shipments. He said he'd go to the press. I told him to calm down. Things went too far. Eddie had been silenced because he tried to do the right thing. A year later, the town renamed Miller's Creek Bridge in his honor, the Eddie Walker Memorial Bridge. Laura attended the ceremony, tears in her eyes as the mayor read the dedication. Eddie Walker was not a hero because he was perfect. He was a hero because he refused to stay silent. The crowd applauded. Ben's documentary, The Driver Who Knew Too Much, premiered months later and won multiple awards for investigative journalism. But the story didn't end there. Every October, on the anniversary of Eddie's disappearance, someone leaves a small cardboard box at the foot of the bridge. Inside it, a note reads the same words every year. The truth is never lost, only buried. Justice delayed isn't justice denied. It's just waiting for someone brave enough to chase it. Eddie Walker's story reminds us that the smallest voice can still uncover the biggest lies, and that silence in the face of wrongdoing is its own kind of crime.